Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of how to acid etch your knife. So anyways, in part 1 I showed you a brief viewing of the acid etch job that came out really nice and deep in this little tool that I made here. So part 2 is to show you exactly how to do that and what you'll need. So first, you can do this on any maybe carbon steel or stainless steel knife, tool, wrench, spoon, fork, maybe a steel ring such as this one. So keep in mind that this will work on a bunch of things probably. I'm not sure if it works on aluminum, copper, brass, stuff like that. So, but anyways, for knives, this is how you do it. This is what you need. Okay. Sorry for the jigglies. So what you'll need is white vinegar, the kind you'd use in your kitchen for putting on your French fries and whatnot. So plain old white vinegar, some salt, nail polish, and nail polish remover. I don't have that on me right now because I'm using something else. I'm using methyl hydrate for that. But so nail polish and nail polish remover. Okay, you'll also need a Q-tip. I don't see it around right now, but a Q-tip, a toothpick, and a little cup. And right here you see the cup with the Q-tip in it. Now I lost my here it is. So just a regular type of toothpick. Okay. Now excuse me for a second, but the last thing you'll need, I'm just walking over here, is a automotive style battery charger. Okay, so this is how you do this. And okay, so anyways, here's a knife that I started. Okay, so what you do is you take your knife, and I'm going to put this one aside because that's the one I'll be etching for the demonstration. I kind of did it beforehand. So I'm going to be using this knife as a demonstration knife. Now, you take your nail polish and you cover out the desired area where you want to make a design or etch or something like that. What the nail polish does is it protects the surface of the steel from what's about to come. And so keep in mind that when you're doing this procedure, you only want to do it on the area where the nail polish is, because if it touches the bare metal, it'll start chewing through it too. Okay, so depending how crazy you want, you could take this nail polish and make tiger stripes with the nail polish, fill it all in and leave the exposed blade. Crazy stuff like that. You can do your name in big strokes and then acid etch the whole exposed steel, and anything under that nail polish remover would be shiny metal still. It's just, you can do all sorts of things. So the reason why I'm using nail polish is because I don't have a sticker or a stencil where I could lay across it and then do this, or a sticker that I could lay on it and then use an X-Acto knife to carve out a design. So anyways, I drew a little crummy picture here. I'm sure a grade 2 kid could do better, but I whipped it off right quick and it sucks. But anyways, so what this picture is a knife, of course. And so what I wanted to show you is you can do your own homemade tiger striping. Of course, anything in this black area, and I didn't finish filling it in, would be nail polish. So solid nail polish, this whole thing. And anything where the dots are would be exposed steel that didn't have nail polish. As you can imagine, if I was to draw the rest of it in, and then do this procedure, you'd have a tiger stripe pattern on your blade. You can make fake Damascus, all sorts of things. It depends on how much nail polish you put on that blade. So anyways, I better talk quick. That's just an example here. If you are going to do this, you're going to need a big cotton ball rather than a Q-tip, and I'll show you why, if you're going to do a whole blade all at once. So anyways, I put the nail polish on there, and you only want to leave it on, depending on how hot it is, you don't want to leave it on very long. Because then it gets too hard and crusty, and what you're doing is you within 30 seconds or under a minute or something, depending on how hot it is. So what you do is you would scratch what you want into that nail polish remover. If it doesn't work out, you left it too long and it got too hard. See, as you can see, I scratched an 87 in there. So sometimes it's kind of hit and miss, and if you keep up with it, you get a really good scratch. But if you leave the nail polish on too hard, you almost want to do it within 30 seconds when it's still gummy and wet. So as you can see, I went and I put 87 just with the toothpick, just drew 87. But on this one here, I put Jackson Q. Bellner, JQ Bellner, the maker, Kenora, Ontario. And as you can see, and then a couple little arrow thingies there, but so you can really get crazy with this, but don't leave that nail polish on there too long. And if you have troubles, you can always use a rag soaked in nail polish remover. And say you got the 87 in there, but something you're drawing over here, the nail polish started to harden, you could just clean that off, reapply nail polish without messing up what you already done, and then carve in the whole rest of the design. Okay, so once you do that step, you take your knife. So once you got that step done with your knife, there you go. This is what you have, your homemade stencil. Okay? So anyways, so you would take vinegar and a little cup, and you would pour vinegar. I might have too much vinegar. It depends how much you're going to be using. I probably didn't need this much. You take vinegar and you pour it inside, pour the vinegar inside the cup. Take a bunch of salt. Salt is pretty acidic. Put a good amount of salt in there. Maybe if you let the salt dissolve, it's even better. And stir it around. A good amount of salt. I got this video off another guy on YouTube, so I'm just kind of showing my subscribers in case they actually haven't seen any videos like this. It's not my original idea, and I did get it off someone else, and it works really well. So okay, so you got your cup, your Q-tip. You've already done your thing with the nail polish and stuff like that. Okay, now I'm gonna go over to the workstation here. And I'm gonna put the camera down, I'm gonna go grab my blade. So hang on a sec, guys. Okay, so I'm kind of wishing I would have grabbed a cotton ball because I got a big stencil to do here. So hang on a sec, guys, I'll be right there. Okay, so sorry about that. I made such a big stencil. If you were to do that tiger striping, you'd want to use a cotton ball. A cotton ball because it's such a big area, as you can see. So I'm going to use a couple cotton Q-tips here for what I'm doing. So you can only use one if you got a small little thing, but I got such a big area, I'm going to use a bunch of them if I can. Or, sorry guys, I'm kind of bumbling here. Maybe I'll do it just with one because to show you. Anyway, so okay, so you put your knife down on something like a piece of wood or plastic or glass, because you'll be using electricity from the car battery. So you know, use a piece of wood, and so you don't go shorting anything out or something like that. So there's my knife. Got my my solution. The solution there. Get this out of the way. Move this a little bit closer. Okay, so you got your battery charger, your 12-volt battery charger. The guy I saw had his on 6 amps. I'm going to do mine with a 12-volt battery charger on 2 amps. So anyways, so this is what you do. You take your blade and you take the positive terminal, the red terminal, and you clamp it to your blade. Okay? Get everything nice and stable so it doesn't wiggle around. So there's my there's the positive on the blade, as you can see, just in case you can't see. Okay. Now you take your negative. Now you take your negative terminal and you take your cotton ball or your Q-tip and you clamp it like so. Just enough so that it's touching the wet soaked piece. Sorry guys. So here it's touching the wet soaked piece. This is all drenched with vinegar and salt. Okay? So now we're ready to go. something like that. If it was a cotton ball, you'd put the cotton ball in there and make sure there's enough poofy soaked cotton ball to you don't want this metal here touching the knife metal. It'll short and spark and stuff like that. You'll get sparks. So you're not actually touching anything else other than the cotton to the metal. So I'm going to go and I'm going to fire up the battery charger, and we'll do this. I'm just making, okay, so I'm going to plug my battery charger in here, getting some stuff out of the way. Okay, so here we go. We're plugging the battery charger in. We're good to go. Okay, so now do not touch the the positive and the negative together, but you just take the cotton ball and you put it and rub it on your cutout. If you do this on 6 amps, it'll do a lot faster. So anyways, you would hold it there for a minute on one letter, something like that. I'm kind of rubbing it back and forth when I should be just holding it to one spot, but I don't want the video to get too long. So what it will do is, so remember, don't touch the negative thing to the knife other than just the Q-tip or the cotton ball. That's why you can see a cotton ball would be great for doing a whole area. You don't want to use so much liquid that it's dribbling, because the electricity will flow through that dribble and chew on any part of the blade that isn't coated in nail polish. I probably should have my positive terminal farther down the blade, because they're really close together, so there's actually a chance of touching them. So you pretty much hold it to one spot. Once again, I'm on 2 amps. 6 amps is a lot faster. I don't know if you can use 12 amps if that's too much. And this is going to take a while, so I'm going to do it, and I'm just going to do it, and you're going to have to bear with it because there's steps afterwards. So what I'm doing, if you had 6 amps, the guy said it only takes like a minute on each little letter that you're holding it down to. I'm doing it a lot different, so that 2 amps might be slowing things down quite a bit, but so it's pretty neat. It's already turning black and looking pretty good. My battery charger doesn't have a 6 amp setting. It only has 2, 12, and 75 amps. 75 amps is for jump starting a car battery. That's a lot of power, you know. 6 amps and 12 amps. I don't know if you can use 12 amps, but so I'm going to just show you what I got so far. Hopefully you guys can see that. See how it's turning black? Okay. So I'm sorry that the reason why I'm doing it in real time is because to show you, you know, I could have done it beforehand, but you wouldn't have got such a good idea as watching me actually do it. But once again, 6 amps, you'd hold it to, say I got Ontario, which is the province I live, the whole Q-tip's touching that. If I was to hold it there for a minute and be patient, it would go through that pretty good. I hear a truck pulling up, so I guess my dad is back from ice fishing. So if you hear me talking to him, that's if you hear me talking to him, that's just him showing up. He went ice fishing. And maybe I'll tell him what I'm doing here. If you had just an initial, just your initials, and it was a small little bit of stencil or whatever, you'd be done already. I made a really big one, and that's why this has taken a while. Hey Dad, what would happen if I put this on 12 amps with what I'm doing here? Or, yeah, 12 amps. If you take nail polish remover, cover it, scratch out something with a toothpick, put the positive on here, take a cotton ball soaked in vinegar and salt, and then you touch it to the surface, it'll etch that really deep, and it's doing it right now. But will 12 amps be crazy much? Or?
Well, it is 12 amps. Or you mean you got it on 2 amps?
Yeah.
Wouldn't make a lot of difference, I don't think.
So if I switched it right now?
Yeah, it shouldn't do anything.
Okay, let's see. If you want to mark any of your tools, this works really good. So, vinegar and salt, and it starts bubbling. And it cuts really deep too, so. But 75 amps is crazy power, eh? The jumper.
Yeah, the jumper.
Okay, so if you guys are still watching, my dad came in, and I did indeed flick it on to 12 amps. So we'll be, in another minute or two, we'll be getting on to the next stage, and it's worth it to watch it, guys, because this turns out really nice if everything goes well. Okay, I think I've done it enough there. So what you want to do is safely put down your electrodes or whatever they are, unplug your machine, don't let the contacts, the positive and negative, touch each other. Okay, so now you take what you've done there. Okay, there we go. So the next step is you take, by the way, I forgot something. When I put the nail polish on, it's really hot in this garage and it dried really quick. After you've scratched whatever you want out of that wettish kind of gummy nail polish, you can put it down after you're done making your stencil and let it dry completely. I forgot to mention that. It just so happened that it's really hot in here that it dries really, really quick. So I'm going to clean it off with nail polish now, nail polish remover. I'm using methyl hydrate for that. So we'll show you that. Just some methyl hydrate. It's going to chew through that nail polish. So all you guys out there that are making your own knives and you're just starting out and you don't have a bunch of fancy equipment, but your dad or you have a car battery jumper, you could give this a try. Okay, so there it is etched. Let me just feel it. Yeah, it's nice and deep. So there's my etching. The guy also said if you weren't too pleased with the amount of relief, you could take, or sorry, with the if it isn't showing up really crisp, you can take a Sharpie marker, fill it in with the Sharpie black marker, and then you would use sandpaper or something to some sort of abrasive to remove it all. So there you go. J.Q. Bellner, maker, Kenora, Ontario. And this side I did a little etch with JB and 8 because this is the 8th knife I've ever made. It's a great big guy. So there you go, guys. Really deep, man. You should feel that. It's chewed right in there. The longer you do it, probably the better it will turn out. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. That's how to etch your blade with jacks. Thanks for watching. See you later.